It was daunting, to say the least. They originally cast Azog as a live action character, a 7-foot guy who I went to school with. I'll tell you, here's me in a playground, right? And there's a guy, I'm 16 years old, and there's a guy called Bones, who's like, in high school he's about 6'8", 6'9", and he was really skinny and walked around like this, and nobody really talked to Bones. We called him Bones. And we were sitting in the playground one day, and I suddenly see Bones. It was in the middle of the playground, everybody saw it. So there was a guy from the year above us, and he was picking on Bones. And we saw it, he was going, and he was pushing him, and Bones was going. And suddenly, Bones just took this big, long, thin arm back and went smack, and he knocked this guy over. And the guy didn't get back up again. 2 weeks later, Shane Jones, Bones, was trying out for the rugby team. 2 years later, he was the biggest guy in Newcastle, where I grew up. He got huge. I mean, in a way, I think to myself, like, was that a good thing for Bones, or wasn't it a good thing for Bones? But he got very, very big. Anyway, he got cast in Spartacus to play the role of Sedulus. Remember the guy that got his face cut off? Spartacus fans, the German guy? Remember he tried to get Navier in the back, and I came out and was like, "Wah!" And then I started fighting him, and then Spartacus, and then it was like, just his mask came off, darling. But that was Shane. And while he was there in New Zealand for Spartacus, he read for The Hobbit. And he got cast. And he told me one day, and I'd actually auditioned for Azog. And he came up, he told me on set, he said, "Oh, man, I've got to tell you something. I'm going to go work with Peter Jackson as Azog." And I was so happy for him. I was thinking, like, Bones, that big white hook all those years ago, you're now going to go play Azog. But I was actually too embarrassed to tell him that I'd auditioned for it as well. I was like, "Yeah, right." But, you know, Shane went down there, and they shot Azog as a costume orc, right? Now, in Lord of the Rings, you would have noticed that the orcs had masks on, and they really didn't have too many expressions. You know, there was kind of like, and then there was like, because you can't animate these masks. When the mouth is open in the middle there, and even if they've got fake teeth in, it doesn't stitch into all the jaw, and it doesn't all move and stuff like that. So when Shane went down and shot his role, Peter Jackson got it back and watched it and was like, I believe he didn't think it was quite there. So at the last minute, I get this phone call that says that they wanted me to come down and play Azog. And I was in the second last episode of Spartacus, of the whole thing, like War of the Damned, like full on. And they said, "Can we have Manu come down this weekend? Because we know we can't shoot this week." And so I had to fly down after 5 days of shooting full-on Spartacus and spend 2 days down there doing Azog, go back, do 5 days of Spartacus, go down and do 2 days of Azog. And it was just a really, just a crammed-in amount of time. I mean, it takes me only about 4 days to shoot Azog. I go into a motion capture studio and I'm just isolated in this suit, and you don't have to worry about the environment, but as an actor, the environment's not there, so it's a little bit different. You don't have any of the actors there, you just create a form of this character that's then pasted on top of the film. What was your question again?
I said Peter tends to be very demanding of his film and actors. I don't know if you work with
Okay. So what I'm saying is that so the way that I was brought down there, it was 2 months until the premiere, and they decided they were going to shoot me the same way they used Andy Serkis as Gollum in Lord of the Rings. But trust me, when they worked with Andy Serkis as Gollum, they took months, years. They had 2 months to work with me to do Azog. And the reason why they called me down is because Azog was prominently a strong warrior. And I was doing Spartacus, and Peter Jackson told me when he saw me on Spartacus, and he knew that my audition was good with the voice and that he went, "Okay, this is it, we can get this guy here, he can do all the movement and all the fighting skills and all the motion skills and stuff." He brought a dancer down there, basically. You know, plus somebody who'd just been working on Spartacus for 4 years, to make sure that the physical element of the character could be done like that, because they needed it to be done like that. And then everything else on top was just layering. I mean, the voice was done a month or so later. I think 2 weeks before the premiere. I managed to go in the studio. They had rented the image then, and I had to do the voice to it then. But very demanding. There was no time to be demanding. We just had to be very fast and get it done. But we did, and everybody was very, Peter was really complimentary to me at the end, and it was just a thing born of necessity, and we managed to do it and pull it off well.
Yeah, it looked great. Thanks.
Thank you.